All right, we're going to go ahead and get right to it. I fixed the audio and I'll be making sure every single time I go on a live or video that I'm able to hear the audio so that I'm not giving free game and y'all can't hear the audio. It's free game. Anyway, we have two things to talk about. Different topics, by the way. It's not the same thing. One, we're going to be having a Bible talk. Two, we're going to be talking about why you should not, and I mean should not, crave external validation. Number one, Bible talks. So right now I'm on Genesis chapter 27, verse 27. I've got the Bible last month. I bought it from Target and I made a challenge to myself before I bought it. I said, I'm going to read the Holy Bible from Genesis all the way to Revelation. No book skipped, no chapters skipped, no verses skipped. I must read it. I must be disciplined and I must be intentional when I have the book. No passive reading. I must be actively reading it. Even if I don't highlight anything, as long as I'm actively reading it, that's all that matters. Also, we can get into the nuances of highlighting. What I mean by highlighting is you don't have to highlight every single verse in the Bible. Highlight what stands out. Everyone has their own different interpretations of the Bible. Therefore, whatever helps you understand it more, highlight those specific verses and chapters. If there's one chapter and verse that you go, man, that one hit deep, highlight that one. I'm telling you. All right, let's get into it. It says, well, I'm going to start off where I was. It says, may those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed. After Isaac finished blessing him, and Jacob had scarcely left his father's presence, his brother Esau came in from hunting. He too prepared some tasty food and brought it to his father. Now, guys, if you don't understand this story, it's where Isaac had two sons with Rebekah, which is Jacob and Esau. Esau was the hairy one, the red guy, or the hair, yeah, the red hairy guy, and Jacob was the smaller one, I'm pretty sure. When Isaac was getting older and he wanted to give Esau his blessing before he passed away, he was blind, by the way. He told Esau to go out hunting. Now, Rebecca, which is the wife, overheard it, told Isaac, or not Isaac, my fault, told Jacob to go and hunt and have fur on you to appear like he was Esau, when in all actuality he's Jacob. Now, the only reason why the only reason why this worked is because Isaac was blind. If he wasn't blind, he would have already told the difference between Jacob and Esau. It was pretty obvious. What's good, Jacob Johnson? What's good? All right, let me go ahead and get back to it. It says he too prepared some tasty food and brought it to his father. Then he said to him, "My father, please sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing." What's good? Any tips on drunk driving? Do not drive drunk. It's as simple as that. All right, let's get back to it. It says, his father Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" "I am your son." He answered, "Your firstborn, Esau." "Thanks, bro, no problem." He said, Isaac trembled violently and said, "Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it just before you came and I blessed him." Have a blessed one, you too, man. "And indeed he will be blessed." When Esau heard his father's words, he burst out with a loud and bitter cry and said to his father, "Bless me." "Me too, my father." But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing." Esau said, "Isn't he rightly named Jacob? This is the second time he has taken advantage of him." This was the second time he's taken advantage of Esau. He first took his birthright. Then it says, and now he's taken his blessing. Now, taking the birthright is already bad enough. So to take someone's blessing is going across the board. And you can't even expect them to side with you anymore after that. Come on now, you know how humans are. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't be taking someone's birthright and then you take their blessing and you expect them not to hate you or to not have some type of resentment against you. This is how the world works, guys. And then it says, then he asked, "Haven't you reserved any blessing for me?" Isaac answered Esau, "I have made him lord over you, and have made all his relatives his servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine. So what can I possibly do for you, my son?" Esau said to his father, "Do you have only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, my father." Then Esau wept aloud. His father Isaac answered him, "Your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dough of heaven above. You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck." Now, guys, we're gonna go ahead and stop right there. Go ahead and stop right there, and we're actually gonna get into Genesis chapter 27, verse 41 tomorrow for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do it on live, but I'm definitely going to be talking about it. And also, I can already see the first verse now. I can already see it. It says, "Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him." Guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the Bible. Guys, the first mistake that happened in this family bloodline was the wife, Rebecca, favoring Isaac instead of loving them both equally. The problem is, when you favor someone, even if you're not in all actuality favoring someone, if it is looked like you are loving someone else more than the other, then the other sibling, the other brother or sister or cousin is going to resent you. Once resentment is in the picture, once jealousy is in the picture, emotions are in the picture. And once emotions are in the picture, it gets unpredictable. When it gets unpredictable, it gets crazy. And when it gets crazy, you cannot predict or understand what's going to happen. Logic goes out the window. So we must be careful that it is not perceived that you are favoring people. It's not good to favor people. You should treat everyone equal. However, sometimes that's just not how life works. Sometimes someone might see someone better than you, or they may favor someone, but I will be right back. All right, guys, so we're back. Also, I know that a lot of people say the Bible is boring, and I can understand why they're saying it. The reason why they're saying it is because they're reading on a surface level. So they might read one verse, right? So let me go in and pick one that I highlighted. Let's see. For example, this verse, right? If people who read on a surface level type timing read it, they'll go, "If a young woman comes out to draw water, and I say to her, 'Please let me drink a little water from your jar,' and if she says to me, 'Drink, and I'll drink water for your camels too,' let her be the one the Lord has chosen for my master's son." Now, many people will probably look at that verse and go, they just skip past over it. There is a vital, important underlying lesson that you can grasp from it. The underlying lesson is, it is not just solely about looks. If you solely rely on looks to have a partner, to have a relationship, or to have marriage, 9 times out of 10, if you have not vetted this woman out, it is going to be bad. Not because she's bad as a person, but because you only went off looks as opposed to looking at looks and making sure that her actions are aligned with long term growth. Once you see that a woman's actions are aligned with long term growth, she could potentially be your wife. Vice versa for the woman. If you see a man showing long term consistency, long term actions that align with the words that is coming out of his mouth, then that could be a long term husband. Do not go on looks solely. Do not do that. Also, and there's been a person that I've seen on YouTube, and he's talked about this. He said many Christians either see that the girl is good, but they they go for it even though they don't like her, even though they don't find her attractive, or they go for the woman who's attractive, but she doesn't have that consistency. She doesn't have the good actions. You don't have to choose one or the other. You could choose both. You can have a woman who is head over heels for God and who's attractive. If you find that, chef's kiss. Look at chef's kiss in the air if you can find that. Now, is it going to be rare? Absolutely. Of course it is. Guys, going back to the point I was making, the Bible is pretty interesting. It is interesting. You have to really take time to understand why God is saying this at this particular time. Then the Bible will start becoming a lot easier to read every day. You'll start becoming more disciplined if you're going to actually find the underlying lesson. Guys, we're almost on Exodus as well. Almost on Exodus. Like almost. Wait. So I think I read a chapter I already read before. Oh my gosh. All right, it's all good. We'll get to it tomorrow. All right. Very, very quickly, we're going to be talking about why you shouldn't crave external validation. Guys, and social media has amplified this problem so much. I would argue, I would believe that people were already craving external validation. However, social media amplified it, one, and social media exposed it, number two. Many people think that the problems that are in the world now, it just suddenly happened, it suddenly appeared. For example, lust. Lust, for example. People will say, oh wow, why is this generation so lustful? Or where did it come from? Guys, it was already here. Even back in the Bible times, people were being lustful. However, in our generation, it is more amplified by social media. Every rap song says it, not every, most rap songs sing it. Most of the songs you hear on TikTok, most of the stuff that you hear and see are about lust. So you can't really get mad or blame people when they let their lust take over. And it's a hard thing to master. So anyone out there saying that it's easy, clearly does not understand because it's not easy. Lust is not easy. Lust is very hard because it's a biological thing. When something is biological, it is naturally wired and tied to you. Therefore, if your body is naturally wired to this, naturally releases dopamine when you kiss an attractive girl, or vice versa, a girl kissing a guy, when your body naturally tensifies and you can feel it in the moment, biologically, you'll just have sex. It's as simple as that. And you can't get mad at people. Instead, you must understand. It takes time. But lust is definitely a hard one. Forgiving people is hard. About everything that will make you grow as a man and a woman is hard. Life is hard. Being an adult is hard. All of it is hard, but all of it teaches you something. Therefore, the more lessons you can take, the more lessons you can acquire and put under your belt, not only put it under your belt, accept it. Not only accept it, but execute based on that information, your life will get better tremendously. I was seeing this girl on TikTok, and she was saying that the reason why people feel stuck in life is because of relationships. They keep on going back to the toxic people. They keep on going back to people who know is going to treat them wrong. But for some reason in their brain, in their human psyche, they go, they want to go back. And then they go back. Now, she was saying that the reason why is because people naturally want people around, people naturally want relationships, people naturally want to be locked in and close with each other. Therefore, that's fine. That is fine. Now, I know these red pill creators, like my brother was just telling me, they're saying, oh, talking to women is somehow gay. What are you talking about? Like they be claiming they be talking to women, bro. I don't even know if you really talking to women before. Cause come on, bro. Talking to women is good. It's good for an experience. Cold approach a woman is great, actually. It's great. And yeah, guys, it's like it is gonna be challenging. It's gonna be hard. And what the lady was saying is in order for you to grow, you cannot blame your past on everything. Yes, and she's right. A lot of people have a past. A lot of people have bad things that happen, traumatic experiences, etc., etc. However, that cannot be the reason of why you are acting this way or acting this certain way now. That should not be an excuse because at the end of the day, you can choose to change. Now, if you couldn't choose to change, it'd be a lot different. However, since you have the decision as an adult to change the trajectory of your life, that choice sits with you every single day that you decide not to take that choice. Many people don't want to take that choice, not because they don't want to better their life. It is because it is hard. Growth requires a, a acceptance at first. You have to accept that this is going to be hard for you and that you're going to grow. Second, after you've accepted it, you must change your actions to align with that acceptance. That's the hard part. Even the accepting it is hard. But to be doing the action consistently is hard because if you already have habits instilled in your day-to-day life and someone tells you to do the opposite, you're gonna be like, what? Because that habit was already formed. Once a habit has been formed, it becomes second nature. It's just something that you do. When we brush our teeth, do we think consciously, let me brush my teeth? No, it's second nature. It's already been a habit. When we first did it, it's you get the toothbrush, pretend it's a toothbrush, you get the toothbrush, toothpaste, brush your teeth. Now it's just you don't have to think about it. It's second nature. Same thing with habits that you've been doing for years. Let's say someone's been smoking for 3 years, right? 7 days a week. Not one, not two, not five, not six. 7 days a week. They are smoking, they are vaping. And then after 7 years of them smoking Monday through Sunday for 7 days a week, someone comes along and they tell them, you must stop smoking. What are the chances that person stops smoking after 7 years of consistently smoking? Zero. Not because he doesn't want to quit, it's because the habit is already instilled. Therefore, in order to break that habit and start doing better, he must accept that he's going to have to change, and then he must actually grow with actions so that that action can align with the acceptance. It doesn't even start with action, it starts with acceptance. Many people don't want to dig in the past because that past has traumatic stuff, but digging into the past is how you accept stuff. I feel that one of the best ways to get over the past, believe it or not, is to actually talk about it. You want to know what's crazy? If you don't talk about it and you deny it, you know it sticks in your head longer, and then you wonder why you're stuck. It's because you're not accepting it. And once you can accept it, it's like a fresh breath of air. It's like it's gonna hurt at first though. It's bro, I'm telling you, all of this stuff hurts at first. It's going to hurt at first, but it's gonna make your life better. However, most people want to stay in the comfort. When you're in the comfort, you won't go back in the past. You must go back and assess, why did this happen? Who did it happen to? Where did it happen? When did it happen? Why? How? When you define the how to your past, even if it's traumatic, you can know in the future of how to not get yourself back into that scenario, or how to have someone else not get back into that scenario. You have to dig in the past. The reason why in school, the reason why they talk about history so much is because history was the reason why, all lining up brick by brick, to why we are at where we're at now. Why do you think the teachers and the school systems always go back to history, and every single year think of Martin Luther King Jr.? Also, shout out to him. They do this because of history. Because history, the things that Martin Luther King Jr. did, shapes to a degree of what is happening now. Most people might not be following his activism or movement properly or correctly. However, he's still an influence. He's still an influence to be reckoned with, to be respected upon, because people are still talking about him every single year. Black History Month, Martin Luther King Jr., everyone talks about him every single year, because history is the backbone, the foundation of why we're at where we're at right now. Going back to the girl on TikTok, she was saying that many people probably won't follow her channel. Guys, if you're trying to convince someone of the truth, you can tell them, but please do not force them, and do not say a consequence or a bad thing to have them join. What I mean by that is, many Christians, and this is the reason why many people don't even want to be Christians, is because some Christians push them away. For example, if they do a sin, and instead of saying, have you considered Christianity, or have you thought about changing your life for the better, they go, oh, you did that bad thing, you're going to hell. Why would you tell somebody that? Someone who is a non believer, a non Christian, someone who probably doesn't even believe in God. And now you're going to tell them, as a Christian follower, that they're going to hell because they committed this one sin. Now, logically speaking, is that going to help? Is that going to help that non Christian believer become a Christian? Absolutely not. Look at it from their point of view. If they are already doubting Christ and you say, oh, yeah, you're going to hell, that doesn't help anything. If anything, it makes them more not even want to join the certain religion. Going back to the point of why you should not crave external validation, it is because external validation, if you crave it on a long enough time scale and frame, will control your life. It will control your life for the worse. And it feels good in the moment, but long term, it's going to detriment your life. Also, about things feeling good in the moment. You want to know what's crazy? Most of the bad things feel good in the moment. It's crazy. Most things do feel good in the moment. That's why people indulge in it. It feels good. You have to understand, people, it feels good. If going to the club, drinking, smoking, partying required discipline, required you to have a six pack, required you to actually level up in life, then no one will be doing it. However, because it's fun, because it feels good, because it's easy, because it doesn't take any work, it doesn't take any discipline, you can go today. For most adults, it feels good in the moment. You don't have to try, you don't have to be rich, none of that. It's easy. Therefore, since it's so easy, you will continue going to the club, you'll continue doing all this stuff, you'll continue craving external validation because it feels so good. Which is why you shouldn't crave external validation, because once it feels good, you're going to want more of it. Now, imagine if that same feeling, that good feeling that you felt when you were craving external validation, can be applied. That same happiness that you felt, what if that could be applied to you having internal confidence, you being disciplined, you being sharp, you being on the grind daily? If it could be applied in that area, now you're really going to expedite your process in your life. Because now you've taken the same energy, but you've applied it to a different form of confidence, which is internal confidence, which is yourself. It is yourself. Actually, guys, I actually have my next topic I'm gonna talk about on live. And we're actually gonna talk about why you should be the foundation. That's gonna be the next topic I get into. Because you should be the foundation. Shouldn't be relying on people. But that's a topic for next live. I'm gonna say one more thing about why you shouldn't crave external validation. I already said one, it will control your life. What's good, Ross Kelly? One, it will control your life if you crave external validation, and two, it keeps you wanting more. See, until you assess consciously that you are craving external validation, you're not even gonna realize how stuck you'll be in it. For example, if you are on social media and you care about likes, let's say one day you get 20, but then you're like, oh man, you want more. Okay, then that 20 turns to 50. But then let's say instead of 50 likes, you get 45. You're just gonna keep on posting. It's gonna get more and more and more. If you want 2,000 likes, but you only get 1,500, you're gonna want more. The problem with that is until you consciously realize that this is detrimenting your life long term, then you're gonna keep on doing it. Like I said, if you could take that same tenacity that you have with that external validation, that same energy, the same motive, you could take it. You can transmute that energy to your internal confidence. You'll be surprised of how fast you'll grow. Now, is it slower at first? Absolutely. It's supposed to be slow at first. When you are building your life from the bottom to the top, if you were not born with riches or wealth or any form of inheritance or money, you have to understand that one, if you are the first to change your bloodline, you can choose to today, number one. And number two, know that it's going to be a long road. You have to know that it's going to be a long, tired, almost, not even almost, uncomfortable road. Not even almost. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. You can decide to change your bloodline, but it's going to be uncomfortable at first. Everything you want that's good is going to be uncomfortable at first. It is. It's the way of life. We can also get into this topic also, the difference between short-term validation and long-term gratification, or short-term comfort versus long-term gratification. There are two choices that you can make as an adult because everyone has their own choices when you're an adult. As long as your body able, you can move, stuff like that. Not if you're disabled or anything. I'm not talking about that. All right. It's either one, you are going to trade your long-term success for short-term comfort, or you are going to trade your short term comfort for long term success. Now, one feels good in the moment, but long term, it's not good. And one hurts in the moment, but gives you the benefits long term. You get to choose. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and end right here. It was a good live, actually, good live. Next live, and this is where it's really going to get interesting. This is where we talk about why you should be the foundation, you yourself. We'll get into that next live, but make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.